till September 26th, 2023. That agent, where he bullied me on the phone to say, "Well, faking you were sick or I wouldn't help you." He does realize that minister was a nut job, right? He made up that lie because my sister was following her husband around with Katie. And she came up to me. Now, a lot of people knew they were cheating, and nobody would open their mouth. Okay? And my sister knew, so why would you cause her pain? She's following her husband around with his mistress. She came up to me. I followed him again today. I think they thought it was you, and she ran off. I'm like, great. Well, a week later, he told everybody she was faking she was sick and thinking she got well. All that family screaming threw me out. Why? Because he wanted to discredit me, get rid of me, because his son's cheating. He had been preaching, and where other ministers' sons had cheated, that there was a Bible scripture. It had to skip 3 or 4 generations before you could get a minister out of that family. Well, they're setting it up for my nephew, Nick, his grandson, to be the next minister. Well, he's telling everybody, all these other ministers, that their sons cheated. They couldn't be a minister over that church. So they couldn't have it get out. So he had to discredit me and get rid of me. And then the insane man told him that he was to make it up to the single church women by taking them out behind my back. And he was to commit adultery. Not open adultery. The godless people. He made it up. And they worshipped him like a god. Well, when Katie went to marry Mark, okay, now she's already had an adulterous affair with my brother. Her sister Trish and I were friends, and she said, well, Karen, she's crazy. When she's out of church, she'd go to bars, sleep with all kinds of men. She'd go out the vehicle and have sex with them, go back in and get in fights with their wives or girlfriends. She'd sleep with anything. Everybody knew those stories, how wild she was before she came to church. Well, when she went to marry Mark, I asked Dave, I said, what color was her dress? Because they're real picky. You can't wear white unless you're a virgin. And he said, well, she wore white. I said, how could she wear white? He said, Strange prayed about it and gave her back her virginity. Did that agent know that minister was God? Did he know he was a nut job? He did realize he was a minister with a high school education from the 1950s. Like my sister Linda said, Strange puts it off that he's so smart, and he's not. He just puts it off in errors. He can only read, write, add, and subtract, and multiply and divide. He has a high school diploma from the 1950s. He only has a minister's license because the ministers taught some classes across the parking lot. And they signed some license in the 50s. He only got the church because that minister was going to sell it. He did a land contract on it. Like he said, he owned the building. He used to tell people, some little kids would call him Jesus. He's like, Mom, me and my Father are one. To let them think that he was God. Did he know that? Huh? Did he know what he was backing? Where did a minister get an MD license? Like the officers that watch me. How could that agent fall for anything that minister said? He was a minister, not a doctor. His IQ level was so low. He wouldn't know one more thing he was talking about. Exactly. Think about that. So how could he go along with that? How much did they give him? My friend that used to work at the prosecutor's office said they had to pat that agent's wallet really good. Because why would he go along with any of this? He's committed heinous crimes, been accessory to him. You do realize where I talk to officers, don't worry about little thing. What they did is illegal. It's illegal to be in somebody's home no matter what, but protected like cases with statements. Even the FBI go to jail for looking for him, at him, or being in your home before him. So we're on a recorded line. The Fourth Amendment in the Constitution, the right of the people to be safe and secure within your own home or within your own person. Nobody can touch you unless you want them to, or it's assault. Your places, your homes, your papers, and effects against all unreasonable searches or seizures shall not be violated. Your home, what did it say? It can't be violated. Department of Justice looks at home as a castle. It shall not be entered into. So why would my husband's girlfriend's dad and drug friends be allowed in my home? They wouldn't be. Stalking. They were to be arrested, and let alone they only had sodium pentothal reports, and they photoshopped that shower scene, and then laughed at the FBI for falling for it. How could you fall for his crackhead tapes? It's done by the drug cartel. No searches, no seizures, but upon probable cause warranted. You have to have court order with the oath or affirmation of people and places and things to be searched and seized. Where's your court order? You don't have one. Until I talked to that agent, he opened up an informant case. Then an officer talked to Dave. There was no case. Dave told Danny he hired Pete on his own. Who's Pete? His girlfriend's dad. Can't touch anything with a conflict of interest either. Gets thrown off of that. See, I talked to Officer Reinhardt in Louisville. He giggled like a little girl. Don't you worry about a little thing. Even the FBI go to jail for looking at him. And they go to jail for being in your home. You don't realize how illegal it is. They could even have something on somebody and they could never look at it. Portage County Sheriff's the same thing within the police. None of this is funny what these people are saying they did. See what I mean? It was a drug cartel. They hired the godless apostolic church of people, hired the human traffickers, the drug traders, human trafficking people, where I had 4 attempts on my life. And it didn't work, so they hired the drug cartel to free me instead. They had me drug beaten, raped. Do you realize how mentally ill they are and how dangerous? They should have been arrested for RICO charges. RICO is racketeering, drugs, kidnapping, attempted murder, rape. That's 20 years at the very least. And they human trafficked me under drugs out of that house. And that agent didn't arrest him. That makes him an accessory to those crimes. We're on a recorded line. I tell him someone told on me that night to that church. Dave told Danny he talked to that agent. Officers in uniform said they'd seen him. And it was him. And I told you there was a human trafficker up there. I almost thought it was that agent at first. Now if he, with him being up there, he's seen an older man, about 70, fancy gray suit, walking around going at the people when I walked in. Remember seeing him? Do you remember seeing him? Well, Paymer was yelling at Dave. And those women had walked up to me, and they said, you knew I was being drug beat and raped, and he said you didn't care. It got all over that you were telling everybody that. I walk in, and that older man walks by me in that expensive suit. Remember, he had a real long face. He was going at people like this. I almost thought it was you. Until later on, he showed up and said he was a human trafficker. He was in Apostolic Church of Overton the same night you Did you know that? Think about who's there. And where I told you the guy threatened to knife me, called me a liar. I told you he tried to kidnap me before. You call me a liar. He's a kidnapper for the human traffickers. The authorities know what he looks like. I'm describing a serial killer, and he's calling me a liar. Is there a camera above the bench? I don't know. You don't know if there's a camera above the bench. You say you're lying, I'll arrest you. Now, was there a camera above that bench or not? I don't know. Then you say you're lying, or I'll put you in jail. It's like, fine, whatever. You say you were faking you were sick before I won't help you. Remember that. People have been complaining about that for months. It is what he bullied you in for the second statement. And nobody finds it well funny, now that we all know it was a medication error. And he told people not to help you because he bullied you into that false statement. And I'm like, but I really was sick. I got documents, MRI reports, blood work, even documents of them falsely diagnosed me, and then a copy of the fentanyl patches. It's 100 times stronger morphine. They don't give it to fakers. Huh? And there's scars all over my body. Huh? That means you were talking to strange, because Dave already told Paymer months before that my wife really was sick, and we got documents to prove it. Good to know. So who are you talking to? The nut job. Why would the FBI help a person like you? Well, they're going to try to kill me. So murder's not good enough for the FBI. They've tried to kill me, so give me a real reason. Then the other guy yells out, well, we could use Pete's tape. Weird. I don't even know who Pete is, and it's a shower scene. Then yell out something about Pete, and it's some kind of roofie confession. They're fake sodium benefit reports. I've never even talked to him yet. I didn't even know who they were talking about. My rapist, the one that was covering me with bruises, making me throw up, have headaches, and a severe swollen personal infection, verified by Altman family physicians, seen for all those symptoms of being drug beat and raped. Huh? Yelling out my rapist name, laughing at a rape victim that's being scammed on a recorded line. And you're giggling, stop, she knows it now, to the other guy. And you're laughing at me for my rapist that I've never met. And the guy that's been having the drug cartel drug me up and tell me say stuff and photoshopping me. The drug cartel was playing hard with me, and instead of arresting them, you were laughing at their victim and calling out a man's name that I've never met and didn't even know who you were talking about. Give me a real reason that I tell him about my brother-in-law Craig that worked for the government. Well, I can move you out somewhere and leave you. I don't have money to start, I'll be homeless. Well, if you agree to get information on David and churches, I can open an informant program. I said I can do that. Comes with $5,000 a month. I'm opening an account today. And I'll make sure no man touches you. I'll pull you out if it gets too bad. And then the immunity for life, even when you tell, and the money, even when you tell. And then threaten to listen crazy if I tried to tell someone. That's a no way out. You can't ask for help. Like my friend from the prosecutor's office, that agent don't have enough authority to ask you to stay quiet. He's only a higher cop. It takes a sitting judge and a sequester or grand jury to put a gag order on you because of the freedom of speech. He was only bullying you. No sitting judge will sign that court order. In your protected custody, taking your freedom of speech away. The Department of Justice will put him in jail. He was only bullying you. They can live by your money immunity. I found out they can add your living and housing expenses and a medical card too, and that's it. And he can't bully you into false statements either. The police know better. He was only bullying you. The only thing legal he did was list you informant. With money, I said, well, they already knew. With his acknowledgement of Pete, Dave told Danny he hired Pete on his own. His girlfriend's dad. To frame me. The drug cartel. And you didn't arrest him. You gonna say you went on a lie on a nut job that thinks he can get virginity back? Huh? Thought him and God were one. He lied on Dave White, told everybody he blasphemed God and tried to kill himself. He only switched churches. Lied on Ron that he was cheating on Lisa with Connie. Lied on Heather she was cheating on Nate. They lied on all kinds of people. Like he said, he owned the building. You know, where David crashed? He told everybody he was the son of God. Had to write some kind of seal. And the guy, when the FBI agent said, you're trying to say the creator of the universe can't spell. That's how he should have looked at that minister. You're a nut job. And a dangerous one. Having somebody stalk, drug, beat, and raped. And he should have hit me the first day. I'm gonna upload this. And then you told me, well, admit to no wrongdoing, and I'll take care of everything in the end. You never even questioned my wrongdoing. You laughed with the other guy that I didn't know. Why wouldn't I know? This is a Photoshop shower scene. Some lady said you guys already knew it was Photoshopped. Everything was. You told Apostolic Church of Brockton I was being drugged, beat, and raped, and you didn't care. Because the strangest lie. So he didn't get away with adultery. Because he couldn't have his precious little church reputation ruined. Because all my family physicians told the cops within the first day, or within the first month or two, it was a medication error. You always blame the steroids, but you had you on so many medications. Hard telling which one made you swell up, and everything quit working. It's a good thing you got off of them, got on high doses of pain medicine, and got up moving. It was a medication error. They told David and I to sue him back in 2003 for two years, encouraged him. They almost killed you. They were ripping you and your insurance off, making you sick so you have to keep coming back. It's documented it was a medication error. Do you realize how stupid you make the FBI look? Everybody needs to turn them in. The drug traders and human traffickers have ran wild down here for years. The sheriffs and marshals used the case, got 800 bad guys in February. There's still more down here. And I bet that idiot I was married to wasn't smart enough to use a burner, since they thought they had that agent in his pocket. I've got him on a recording that Will's gonna lie for him, that he was in my home before, and they admitted to selling the login. While I was doing my video, they're taunting me. I got him. I actually got him. Where everybody else is heard and the police has taped him, already admitting they photoshopped everything and drugged everything. And it comes down to where people's like, well, we didn't know they drugged her and told her to say it before. Bullshit. Bullshit. They even told people, was it in 1920, no man talked to her? No, we used sodium pentothal on her as dad. Our true serum. It's a lethal outlaw drug you lie under. The Roofie confessions. You can say that FBI don't know about LSD, acid, and roofies. And needling someone, what they put the date rape, drugs, and injection, walk up and stab somebody. They don't know about stuff like that. The feds don't know about it. Like they said in Trinity Gospel on Sunday, they made fun of the feds for falling for this. They made them a public mockery, and what part of they sold the login you didn't understand. Who gave them the technology to sell? That agent had to. There was another agent selling stuff to the Russians. He's in jail. Another agent stole $225,000 from a case. Will and John stole $300,000 to $500,000. tomorrow, it will be 5 years since I called the FBI. Actually calling that agent back. I called them the hotline on the 23rd of 18. And like Officer Reinhardt said, until that agent took your statement and agreed to protect you, they go to jail for being in your home. The Department of Justice put them in jail. President Nixon got impeached for bugging an office. Remember Watergate? Because is the FBI saying that retired no authority Pete, drug cartel Pete, and his drug cartel daughter, and human traffickers can break in people's homes and stalk them? There's no stalking laws, no right to privacy. That they can break in and roofie somebody, tell them say something stupid, wake up with bruises, throwing up, headache, migraines, almost passing out, and then a severe personal infection and rape them under drugs, and they don't know what happened to them. They're going to the doctor, and they're treating them for the symptoms. And they're not putting it together. People are breaking in somebody's home and drug beating and raping them. And then Photoshop scenes and laugh in their face, and they can extort money out of victimizing people. Is the FBI saying that the drug cartels now run around the United States? And there's no constitution, where I told my ex-husband, we don't live in a communist country. We actually don't. We live in an amazing country. An